Hi everyone, I am so excited to be here this evening. Thank goddess for technology. My name is Marsha Sinanan, and the story that I have for you today is a true story from my memory, which is to say you should question how much is true and how much has been edited by time. I don't remember my last Christmas in Trinidad. The last one before we migrated, the one that I didn't know was going to be the last because I didn't know that we were leaving. I also don't remember my first Christmas here in New York or much of any of my Christmases here. I can tell you that it always felt cold, and not just because of the weather outside or the warmth that I had left behind, but there was a persistent year-round chill in the house that never really went away. It must have been hard for her, my mother. How could it not be? Navigating all the newness, not exactly alone, but lonely. To leave a place she was well loved, to go to a place where she was just tolerated. The way my mother was miserable in this country, you would have not known it was her decision to come here. I only found out recently my dad did not want to leave Trinidad. And she never really talked about home either. She didn't really talk to me much at all, except to tell me to be a good child and not to give she any trouble when I'm going to school and to drop a buff every now and again. I too went from being well loved to just tolerated. I learned what a Trini Christmas was from Susan Mascio by way of a 2-hour and change music download on Napster, or maybe it was LimeWire. And this kind of Christmas she was singing about was completely foreign to me. My mother didn't bake, so there was no bread. She didn't eat pork, so we never had ham. I didn't know what a pastel was, or that the worst thing you could do was give somebody a dry one until decades later when I moved back to Trinidad for a couple of years on my own. This is also when I discovered that ginger beer and ginger ale was not the same thing, and I met my own mister who told me that it does not feel like Christmas unless he get ginger beer. The pancha creamer tasted similar to the eggnog my mother had found at the supermarket one year, except way more punch in the cream. And in those days, you really couldn't find sorrel selling in New York. But back home, my neighbor had it flourishing in her yard, and that neighbor self tell me you're not supposed to see through a glass of sorrel when you're drinking it, and how some people is water it down and try to stretch it, but the thing's supposed to be dark and sweet, and when you're making it, it is take plenty sugar. As for local wine, I didn't actually think that was a thing until this one time I was paid for a job in homemade wine. Pomerac, jamun, passion fruit, guava, five fingers. And when I tell you, that was sweeter than money. Every day, I would tune in to Sweet 100's 100 Days of Christmas as they played tunes that I saw playing out in real life. I witnessed all the lively preparations to get the home ready. My relatives were cleaning and painting like Uncle Kenny. And what is this thing about new curtains? Like specifically new curtains. And when the day finally reached, we eating, drinking, having a good time. Just like Scranta say. It's from crazy I hear about Tito and Susanna again. She introduced me to Daisy and had me wondering where she gone. And let me don't talk about Baron now. When that song play, I just turn into a Spanish woman. And the next song where he say, they say that Christ didn't born on Christmas Day. They say that it's a pagan holiday. I say no way, with conviction, even though I know about the syncretism of Christmas with pagan traditions. And it's during these couple of years that I got to experience a real Trini Christmas. Where I'd grown up, I was familiar with Christmas caroling, but unfamiliar with the Tiffin Parangban and Marcia's music video. Where I'd grown up, Mommy was kissing Santa Claus. But here, Charlene Mamacita was pulling out Shikari in a hurry because she didn't want nobody to see. And you know, if Santa in Trinidad looking for a wife when you damn well know you have one back home, it means we simply cannot trust the men. And it speaks to the irresistible allure of a Trinidadian woman. And maybe that's the reason why Christmas feels so enchanting back home. Because really and truly, when you think about it, Christmas is made mostly by the women, by their sweet hands and commanding voices. It does take a village, but there is a woman at the head of it, holding the vision and directing you to do this, do that. Don't do this, don't do that. Paint here, scrub this, clean that, go by the neighbor for so-and-so, go in the market for X, Y, and Z. The magic is in the women, in their able bodies, willing to rise before falcock and birdsong, striding into their darkened kitchens to set fire on the stove, and Put some smoke in she kitchen. Oh, gal, it's Christmas morning. And as we talking about soca parang, it had this fella I was seeing who wrote a soca parang about me. But then he had to change the lyrics when he got married, rewrite the lines, and erase all evidence of me from the song. But that is a story of another time, because if I do not stop talking, Niala is going to turn this video off. And with that, I would like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. What I try to replicate here is a New York Christmas with Trini flavor, FLAVOUR. Because even if I could bring all of Trinidad to celebrate Christmas here with me, it would not be the same. Some things are just bound to location, and you all get the real deal. Please relish in it on my behalf. And thank you for listening.